We are continuing with the article uh, from the book Vedanta in Practice, Spiritual Unfoldment by Ajayaprana Mataji. The Restless Mind. We have done, I think, 2 or 3 times last year, so we are continuing that.
Yes, so the first slide for this session. We're coming towards the end of this article by Mataji. Other people's problems. We don't know how to retain peace or how to remain peaceful. When we plan a big event in the house, we sit down and heave a sigh of relief after the whole thing is over. But the very next moment, we begin to think of something else. I tell people, when there is no problem in the house, then you sit before the television, solving the problems of other people. We enjoy solving other people's problems. So there is something in us that really enjoys catastrophes, relevant or not relevant. People go to the Gold Coast and other places for enjoyment. During the last 2 days, anxiety and frustration creep in as they think of returning to their everyday lives and problems. They come back tired and complaining. Then on Monday and Tuesday, office work suffers because of a hangover. But when the next holidays come, they pack up and go again. This is life.
This is just like what they say, the samsara, birth and death. We do that again and again, the same thing. We suffer, but still we next time looking forward. As soon as few days after the holiday come back, then when's the next holiday coming? Where should we go? Immediately start thinking, looking at the places where you can go and enjoy within inward commas, because that will be followed by the suffering again. Even before the Sunday comes or Saturday comes, you have to come back. Oh, go back home, get everything back to normal, go to work. So where is the enjoyment? But still we think we get enjoyment.
Well, there are holidays and there are holidays. So if you're going on say a tour and you're learning about the culture and history of a country, then I think that's quite different. You come back feeling informed and enriched. So you needn't, this sort of holiday Mataji is referring to, I think, is a very kind of lying around on the sun lounge next to the pool type holiday.
Also, it depends upon how much strain you put on your body. If the body, too much of trekking or too much of physical exercise, the body is tired by the end of the holiday, then you come back and start complaining. You go back to work on Monday and then go on complaining. Instead of enjoying the holiday, this is complaining. So, it's true, what type of holiday you enjoy. But we need some sort of aches and pains, of course. We need some tension, some sort of challenges we need. We need challenges in life. Just like children or even the people in work, you need to meet the deadline. So you put in more effort. We have got a lot of strength within, we can bring it out. That comes only when we meet with challenges. Otherwise, it slides back to a lazy, sliding back into Thomas. Because everything going smoothly, there's no challenge. Go up, get up in the morning, do the same thing, go to work, do the same thing, come back. But when there is challenge, then you bring out the energy from the strength from within. We got a lot of strength within us. That comes out only when we meet with challenges. Of course, make sure challenges are not too much to overpower. That's why Maharaj says, if you don't have problems, no challenges, then look at other people's challenges. And of course, other people's challenges we enjoy. When it comes to us, then it's not good. We have got this twist of the mind, everybody. Other people's suffering problem, we enjoy. And look, in the news, we can see huge fire. And the description is fantastic, wonderful. All sorts of adjectives they give. The terrible building is burned down, people are, forest is burned down. But of course, we like to see that. So it's very hard to remain peaceful because unless we evolve in spiritual life, the state of peaceful means we go to the other extreme of inertia, tamas. Instead of sattva, we'll be sliding back to tamas. So we have to, through struggle, we go forward and then attain peace. We have to strive for that peace. If everything is served on a plate, we just slide back to tamas. So we have to struggle, work hard, struggle with our mind, not with anybody else. The struggle is with our own mind. We struggle with our mind, fight with the mind. Then you gain, if you can get a bit of control over the mind, manage the mind, the emotions, then we get peace. Otherwise not.
Yes.
I was thinking people turn for alternative cheap alternatives for the peace. Actually, it's not such an easy thing to have peace and to even to feel, to get used to feel peacefulness, because we are so much used to disturbances constantly. And in order to get the peace, you need to dig out the mind. And one is afraid of facing it. The contents of the mind is so much that it's very hard to face. Before you get the peace, lot of what do you call, waves you have to overcome. So that's very hard. So the people try, they think if we can get a simpler ones, and so they go, that's no fulfillment. Getting peace is a very hard thing, because before getting peace, one needs to face one's own mind. Have to cut through all the jungles, and then only we'll get it. And that's why I think people always turn for simple things and just little bit. Don't go into so much. Whatever you grab. It's for 2 days, holidays. How much will you get? It's okay. That's not. I think that's how the people think. And that's what I feel. I don't know. You have better perspectives on it.
Gayatriprana, I was just going to ask you, you have the Gold Coast example there. If you had spiritual awareness, how would you deal with that same problem? So, instead of feeling anxiety and frustration, if you were to be more spiritually aware, how would you deal with that same situation?
You go and be there, enjoy till the last day. And then you back up and come back and then tell yourself, I had a wonderful holiday. And now I'll back to work. That's all right. But I enjoyed the holiday. And why do you think about what's going to happen? Be present at the time and take full advantage of the place where you are. That is the being present in the moment. Mindfulness. You are there to enjoy the holiday place there. You enjoy it instead of, oh, now I have to go back to work. Don't start worrying before you come. You can start worrying on Monday morning. Friday itself, you don't have to start worrying about that. Be there at the moment.
Just getting onto that point Mataji raises about, it's a kind of a perverse thing, but this enjoying catastrophe, although there's a kind of an excitement. And it reminds me that many times when you see in the lead up to a war, for example, that'll create tremendous excitement in the community.
Mm.
Yes, there's fear, but it brings the whole community together. Everybody's working towards a common cause, and they perversely, terrible times are coming, and yet there's a type of excitement around that and a unified sense of purpose, and it drawing out a lot of good qualities in people. So I can relate to how we perversely, I suppose, ironically, we kind of thrive on
Catastrophes.
disaster.
Yeah,
Well, within
disa-
to a certain extent, of course,
Of-
there's the euphoria and then there's the big trauma afterwards. But
And disasters or catastrophes bring out the best in people also. You
sorry,
can
sorry.
bring out the best in people.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see
yeah.
them helping unasked, helping others who are in trouble. That also is there. Both are there. Then they can see some people in that midst of that fire or flood or whatever, going to loot. So that also is there. It brings the best and the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, any natural catastrophe, we see that the whole community's out, they're all rising to the challenge. Yes, yeah. Mm.
Of us viewing ourselves as problem seeking, can we just see ourselves as solution seeking? Inherently, we like to solve problems. So if we don't have any problems to solve, we look at something else. So it's just an intrinsic nature of people to look for solutions, irrespective of where the problems lie.
Now, but when we see something on this television, are we trying to find a solution for that? No, we are simply just enjoying. We are enjoying their suffering of difficulties. It is, there is something in us that triggers that sort of enjoyment. But then when it comes to us, maybe a few rare people may learn from that what they had seen. Not always. Some rare souls may remember, I saw that this is how it worked out. Can help. Can't be sure, but that will be very rare. Most of the people just see it, enjoy, and finish it off.
I know somebody,
Why do people watch the horror movies and tragedies? We say Macbeth, Shakespeare's tragedies are the best ones, not the comedies.
Sorry, when I see the wars going on the Gaza and things like that, Ukraine, anything, I don't think really I do enjoy it. But really, I feel helpless. Nobody is able to do anything. The problem is so complicated. Whose selfishness is drawing where you just cannot make out. This one is blaming that one is blaming this one. It's going, we just helpless spectators seeing. So this sort of feeling does come, what do you call helpless compassion. It's not a dynamic compassion, can't do anything, but still we keep our hearts open. I don't think so that we do enjoy the wars. Of course, the novels and things like that, that's different. I'm not saying that. The actual facts that we are going on, things that are going on in the world, I don't think, but we are, what do you call, passively compassionate.
No, it's not passive compassion. We can
Pray.
very pray.
All
That
we
is-
can do, that's the only thing we have got.
And that's quite
That's
powerful.
only-
That's quite powerful.
It takes time, but that is our powerful. As far as you were telling Kannan, how do you expect one to go to the Gold Coast? And then why, instead of thinking over as problem solvers or whatever it is. You see, when you go out to the nature, something else we benefit from it. The more we are closer to nature, the more we can go within. An ocean reminds us of the transitoriness of the universe. How sagar, we are especially, I do not know how to put it in English. We are used to, when we see sagar, ocean, we always identify it with samsara, the samsara sagar. So how to cross it? So that's not a prayerful attitude comes within. And then like the same thing when we go to mountain, one, what do you call one, some sort of, what is it? Wilderness. Such sort of, which all trigger, help to probe into one's own
Within.
nature. In that way, this outing is very, very necessary and very important. When we sisters go to beach, we always sing a beautiful Tagore song, which is there, oh, beyond this ocean is the land of joy. So it reminds, so we always sing that. So which helps. Though we have gone for a outing, we make it, we spiritualize that outing. So that way we have to learn the techniques of spiritualizing our outings. And outing plus spiritual benefit, both can be had. Yes.
I wonder, Mataji, whether sometimes it's, I don't know whether we quite enjoy it in the sense of a delight, but there does seem to be some sort of passivity associated with it. When we watch TV, see the news, look at Gaza, look at these problems in the world, and can almost become like desensitized to it. And it's true, we do continuously go back to it. I see people very close to me who have got the routine of just watching the news, yet they don't, it doesn't seem to kind of impact them in a way for change. Now, seeing this title, Other People's Problems, you mentioned prayer, like prayer's beautiful, and at least it's cultivating some goodness within the individual of concern. But there's still some separation with prayer. There's a me and there's another. And subsequently, like, it's other people's problems. I wonder whether a more conducive and more kind of powerful way could even potentially be, to use like a better word, is to actually say whether it's my problem. This is my problem. I am actually directly involved in this issue. And people might say, well, how is the problems in Gaza directly related to me being living in Sydney, miles away? And I guess it's that prayer in the sense of cultivating a good mind, all of a sudden a positive mind within myself. Do I then reap the benefits of whatever that karma is to then benefit the world in a good way? But also, like, you can take a notion of, well, inaction, not doing something is effectively an action in itself. So if I choose not to pick up the rubbish, a brick on the road, even though I cultivate that, even though I see it, and I probably identify that it's a hazard, by not doing it, if someone trips in it, yeah, I'm directly, you could argue that I have in part caused this action, that I'm a contributing force to it. Inaction of not doing something, if someone falls, and so forth. So basically, inaction of me not, let's say, somehow cultivating a good mind, of prayer, or even of, let's say, a donation towards a cause, for instance, I am inadvertently contributing towards it. So, and then all of a sudden, if I am responsible, then I'm more driven to do something positive within the world. What are your thoughts on cultivating that sort of mind?
we have to, the ultimate result ideal is, the ideal is feeling oneness with the whole world. Then you will be feeling their pain and pleasure, their sorrow and suffering, everything. But at present, in our stage, we are not feeling that. We are identifying with our limited body and the little group that around us. But still, we can, through our thoughts and our prayer, we can influence those people around us to have good thoughts, and to say a prayer for those people who are suffering. Ask when a community come together, have a prayer for those who are suffering. It will all have its effect. And we say, oh, what can one person do? But so many, everybody is individuals. Little bit, but there's a little grains of sand and little drops of water make the ocean and the whole land. So each individual say they have send good thoughts, and peaceful, there may be peace in the world. Pray, and it will have its effect. And just because the media highlights the negativity doesn't mean there is no good things in the world. The world is balanced by the good efforts and good deeds of a lot of people who are the silent majority. It is the loud minority who is taking all the attention. The silent majorities keep silent. And there need not be huge number of people doing good things. It's enough. Small number is enough. In the Mahabharata, we can see the 100 Kauravas balanced against the 5 Pandavas. Strength and good thoughts are very, very powerful. Swamiji says, if you shut up yourself in a cave and have a few good thoughts, and you are dead there. Doesn't matter. Those thoughts are so powerful, it will break the walls of the cave and spread for the whole world and influence people. So having good thoughts, powerful thoughts, saying, let there be peace in the whole world, sincerely pray, it will have its effect. And then slowly, the other person's problem will become my problem. Because my heart is expanding. I am embracing more and more people. So their problems become my problem, and I feel more concerned with that.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Unwinding memories and experiences. Life flows on and the mind goes on like a river, uncontrolled. A devotee once complained to the Holy Mother, when I sit for meditation, all kinds of unwanted memories come and disturb me. Holy Mother said, you know, the mind is like water. Water always flows downwards. When it flows, it carries everything that it comes across, wanted and unwanted, indiscriminately. The mind is also like that. As we go through life, the mind takes impressions from everything it comes across indiscriminately and keeps it all stored in the brain. Gradually, all these impressions are wound into a ball. Each experience, each impression left by the experience is like a colored thread. These colored impressions, red, blue, green, orange, and yellow threads, come out one by one as we unwind them. When we sit for meditation and the mind is very calm, it starts to unwind that ball, the colored threads of old memories and experiences. But there is no cause for concern because the mind has got a peculiar habit. Once its intricacies and difficulties are exposed, they will not remain there anymore.
So all the impressions, good and bad, are stored. But we see that the negative impressions, bad impressions, experiences, sad experiences, disturbing experiences, they have left a deeper impression because we thought about it more and more. After it happened, we thought over it again and again, why it happened, this way and that way we analyzed. So the impressions become strong. Whereas happy experience, we enjoyed, have a good time, and then maybe just told a few people, but it is not so deep. The impressions are not so deep. So that is why when we sit for meditation and trying to calm the mind, trying to concentrate the mind, all these things come up. And you see all the negative impressions come up more. Because positive, the good, happy impressions are not so strong. Even if they come up, the negative ones, the difficult, disturbing ones are so powerful, they push them out. And we often relive the whole experience sitting there for meditation. After some time, we realize, oh, I'm supposed to be meditating. And what am I doing? I am somewhere else reliving this experience which happens long ago. It happens. It happens for everybody. So, as Krishna says, there's no other way than bring it back. Every time it happens, bring the mind back again and again and again. Swami Brahmananda says, the mind is like the little child. You try to make the child sit quietly in one place. The child will, within a minute, the child will be off. We have to bring the child back again and again. The mind is just like that. Forcibly coaxing whatever in your minds we have to do. And sometimes we can use force. Sri Ramakrishna says when he used to meditate one time, he used to see a person sitting next to him with a trident and threatening, if the mind wanders, I'll pierce you with this trident. So we can imagine so many different things to make the mind sit there. But the mind will go away again. But it all happens when we sit for meditation. Why doesn't it happen other times? When we are reading a book, when we are going for a walk, it doesn't happen. When we are sitting quiet, trying to meditate, only then it happens. All these memories come up. Because the body is stationary and we are trying to calm the mind also. Other times the body is restless, along with that the mind is also moving. And here now we are trying to calm the mind, make it quiet, then all these things come from deep down. And when we take the impression from outside, we don't discriminate whether this is good impression or bad. One way is to be careful about what impressions we take. The Ramanujacharya in his the commentary on this niyamas, Shuchi, he says, Ahar Shuddho Sattva Shuddhi. The food is pure, the intellect, the buddhi will be pure. And Ramanujacharya explains purity of food, the pure food that we eat should not be having any dirt, all those things, and also impressions, the vibration should be good, all that. But Shankaracharya explains it differently. For Shankaracharya, ahara means impressions, anything that comes from the world, external world that we take in. So we take this mental food through our eyes, ears, nose, skin, tongue, everything. All the five senses bring in mental food. That should be pure. Then the mind will be pure. And when the mind is pure, it's easy to calm down the mind. So we have to be careful. We have to be alert what sort of impressions we take from the world. What we hear, what we see, what we speak. The people with whom we are coming in contact. You have to be alert. You have to be careful. We cannot, especially those who want to go forward on the spiritual path, cannot be careless about that. You have to be careful. What sort of company you keep, what sort of food you eat, what sort of impressions we take, the books, news, film, movies, whatever you're seeing, you have to be careful what you see. Of course, when you go to work, you don't have any choice. You have to mix with people. But there are a lot of things where you can use you have got the freedom to choose what you want to do. So we had to be alert about that. Otherwise, the mind will take everything. And then as colored threads, all will come up when we sit for meditation. But then look at the last sentence. There is no cause for concern. Once its intricacies and difficulties are exposed, they will not remain there anymore. As Sri Ramakrishna says, the thief is going around trying to break into a house, and the policeman is keeping track of the thief. The thief tries his best to shake off the policeman, but the policeman is not going. And in the end, thief gives up, goes away. No point. I can't shake the policeman off, so let me go home. Maybe trial tomorrow. So the mind, if we keep on watching the mind, the higher mind watching the lower mind, all these things comes up when we sit for meditation. The higher mind is watching, no, this is not good, this is not good. After some time, they will just, if we ignore them, they will disappear slowly. But if you're going to relive all those experiences, they become strong. You pay attention, become stronger. You show interest in that, they become stronger. You ignore it, don't pay any attention. This is all past. I have turned the page. I'm going forward. You are not welcome anymore. It will disappear. As they say, you go to somebody's house, the host does not welcome you at all. Don't even acknowledge your presence there. You may go 2-3 times, then after you stop going there. The same with the impressions. These impressions, if you keep ignoring them, after some time they will just disappear. But for that you have to be alert. These impressions good for me, helpful for me. Only then we can ignore them. If we are not alert, then we keep on reliving them. They become strong.
I found it interesting when I did this meditation teachers course a couple of years ago, that when you're teaching people meditation, well, at least in the West here, you've got to be careful because you don't know, in some cases, all kinds of traumatic memories can start coming up into the mind of someone. You've got to actually monitor the students, and you may even have to refer them to some professional help because they're actually opening their minds up and allowing such things to come up to the surface, things that they're probably really carefully, traumatically stored away. So sadly, in some cases, for some people, when they try to learn to meditate, it can even be a little bit dangerous for them without some extra supervision.
And that is why they say that meditation, and when you go deep into meditation, you should have the proper guidance of a teacher. Just by reading the books, you do meditation on the surface level, it's all right. For relaxation, all that is all right. But if you really go deep, progressing in this meditation, then the mind goes deeper and deeper into the subconscious level and unconscious level. So many impressions come up. Maybe from this life, from previous lives. You don't know. They can be quite strong. That is why the guidance of a teacher is very important at that time.
Exclusively meditation, I don't think it would, it will help. It will help, no doubt, but along you need some auxiliary disciplines along with it. For example, right reasoning. Any emotions, when it is not touched by the reason, is dangerous. And so, even so, meditation, if it is not coupled with reason, it's a dangerous task, because meditation will release certain amount of energies. And if we do not know to direct these energies in right channel, then it's useless. And then when we meditate without certain amount of purity, just because people will just go, they think they have the idea, meditation means something, some experiences they are going to go through without the basic preparation they do. That is why the scriptures always give a gradation: prayer, japa, worship, then meditation comes. It traditionally, the masters who are spiritual teachers, they started with this prayer, relying on higher power to help. So all this purifies. Selfless work, reasoning, prayer. These things will prepare. This is a preparation. So when certain amount of psychic energy is released, you know how to tackle it. These are the necessary. Direct meditation, no one's in Buddha's thing, right meditation comes in the end. In Patanjali, it comes in the dhyana, comes in yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana and the dhyana. It comes 6. So it's such a long. Any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot go into direct meditation. If they go to, that's what happens. They can't. You are digging the unconscious, and the unconscious stuff, when it come out, you will not know how to tackle them. Along with the impression, energy is released. That's why we say now, when you garden, first weed out the place. Remove the stones, remove the weeds, because you're going to plant, you're going to water, you're going to fertilize it, the plant is going to grow. If these things are there, weeds will overgrow. It will grow. If weeds are also getting, so there is no preparation, there is no purity done. So when your energy is released, even they also will grow, they also will become strong. So always our masters, spiritual masters always saw that before meditation, certain steps are followed. And then you go meditation, like slowly you just, the mind just sinks into meditation. Prayer will sink into meditation. Good thoughts will sink into meditation. Selflessness will increase. Sympathy, calmness, compassion, these all will sink into meditation very naturally. So some basic disciplines are needed before going to meditation. These things happen because that's not done, I think.
Any more questions or comments on this one? Or we will move on. Revealed what you like, what you hate. When you sit for meditation, watch your mind, then you will know 2 things: what you like most and what you hate most. You can never forget something or someone you like the most. Memories of the persons and things you dislike also refuse to leave the mind. So, when we sit for meditation, we will know where we have to work and on what we have to work. I will have to control my thoughts towards the person or thing who takes a good part of my mind, whom I like very much. Otherwise, the thoughts of that person or thing will overwhelm me. And as for the person or thing I do not like, I have to reorganize myself so that hatred and dislike are not there. Even if you cannot like a person, try your best not to dislike that person. That is a positive way. That is the spiritual way of doing things.
Yeah, watching the mind is important. When we sit for meditation, to observe the mind, where it is going. It will either go towards people, things that you like, or you dislike. You are asking the mind to concentrate on your spiritual ideals, form of God, but the mind will go this way or that way. So both you have to control, whether it is towards the people that or things that you like, will be absorbed in that, or you don't like. And don't like, we think about, we can, when the mind goes towards things or people that you don't like, you can reason out. Isn't there any good qualities? Hasn't the person done some kind deeds to me or to other people? If you look, of course, the person has done, but maybe just one thing, that's enough for us. The Sri Ramakrishna says the difference between man and God is this. You do 99 good things to the person and do one thing which that person doesn't like or didn't like. You say, good, that person, he did or she did that to me. That you will remember only that one thing that was not liking to that person. Whereas God, you ignore or forget God for 99 times. The 100th time you turn towards God, God will forget all the 99 misdeeds that you have done and will remember only the one good thing. Oh, my child has turned towards me. My devotee has turned to me. So happy. That's the difference. We can consciously try to think, hasn't that person done something good to me? And hasn't that person helped me? Oh, yes, of course. I've done so many things to me, but I'm concentrating only on this one. Why? There may be something bad in me. That is why, otherwise, why should my mind go towards that? And when the good things, when you are concentrating on the things that you like, well, that is good. I like it. But now my point of concentration is on God or this ideal. I'm not going to spend time on that. Again, also you have to use a reasoning in both ways. Without that, the mind will be swinging from one to the other, one end to the other, like a pendulum.
Just in the practice of controlling the mind, when we notice these things, sometimes we use the mind itself in order to bring it back.
Yes.
But sometimes because we're so attached to that thought or the mind itself, if the mind wavers again, because of our attachment, we're pulled away again. And therefore the cycle continues. Therefore, constantly kind of being pulled away by those, I like the phrase in text here, where movies of the mind were captured by our own creation, our own projection, a mood, a mental thing which is occurring, whether it's harboring the negative thoughts or harboring fantastic ideas, whatever it might be. But in meditation, in that opportunity kind of practice, because we're still so attached to it, even bringing the mind back, because we're still attached, we still get pulled away by it. I understand that from the repeated cycle of
When you try to bring it back again and again, and tell yourself, I'm not going to waste my time on this. This is wasting my time. I got only this much time for meditation. I'm going to concentrate on this. Use your willpower and bring the mind back again. It will go away, bring it back again. But use your willpower shut out the other good or bad attachment to the good or attachment to the negative thing, push it out. And instead bring in some idea, if you want, bring some idea, high ideal connected with your object of meditation.
Can you give an example?
Say, I'm trying to concentrate on Sri Lanka. Now somebody I like to, or like I don't like, things come. So I say myself, no, I'm going to think about it. I take one incident from the life of Sri Lanka and keep my mind around that. So my mind is not ready to sit quietly on one point, but I am keeping my mind within a small circle of connected with that incident. So it's not going, the pendulum is not swinging from one end to the other. It's almost in the center, but it's still moving. But through such practice, slowly, the mind will learn to sit quietly. It takes a long practice, but we can do all this. There are different means to bring the mind into one point.
And sorry, to go back into the last slide, that darkness being confronting. Thank you for the the darkness that is whatever's festering deep within us, whatever that our psyche has unhold. Can you explain the benefits of confronting and the practice? Like essentially, it sounds dark and scary, potentially. What are the benefits of, I guess, fighting through it and facing it in meditation, of being those masters, like those masters? What is the...
See, running away from the problems will come after us, and they becoming bigger, they loom larger, and then they overwhelm us. So if you face them. That something has come up from the mind, from say subconscious mind, face it. And if it is too overwhelming, seek help. Maybe a professional like psychiatrist or a spiritual guide, seek the help. And then have strong strength of mind. The mind gets stronger through practice of the 5 principles of Yama. Practicing non-violence, truthfulness, all that gives you, makes the mind stronger. We think that is all, do's and don'ts. I don't like do's and don'ts. You cannot say, if you want to progress in spiritual life, you have to. There's no other choice. Just like you have to concentrate the mind, control the mind by yours. Nobody else can do that. Same way, these do's and don'ts you have to practice. Non-violence, speaking the truth, non-acceptance of gifts, non-stealing. It is not just the literal meaning, it's a wide, broad meaning for all these things. Just take the example of non-stealing. We are not thieves. We don't steal from anybody. That's true. We don't steal. We don't go steal. We are not pickpockets or anything. But there are many things we take which is not our own. Say, somebody has done a good deed. Somebody has done. And I didn't contribute to that particular work, but I take credit. The team has done some, in your workplaces. The team manager takes all the credit, whereas he or she hasn't put in any effort, but takes all the credit. That is stealing. So, don't take anything which does not belong to you. Taking anything which does not belong to you is stealing. Material thing or non-material thing. So all these things, practicing all these Yama, these principles, the virtues, makes you strong, mentally strong. Then you will be able to face these disturbing thoughts that come up from the mind. It is the weak mind which is overwhelmed by them. As Robert said, it becomes too much traumatic because the mind is not strong. If the mind is made strong by its practices of yama. Then and prayer and japa, worship, all those things, then the mind will be strong. You'll be able to face it. We do things to make our body strong, but we don't care for the mind. The mind also needs a good exercise, good food. We know for body, we know healthy food, proper exercise, proper rest, we give to the body. But what about the mind? The mind also needs proper food, healthy exercise, and rest. Too much of restlessness, too much constantly on the screen watching things, the mind is disturbed. There is no rest for the mind. The mind needs rest, mind needs proper food, mind needs proper exercise. Just as the body. Then the mind becomes strong, and then the mind will be able to face these challenges that come up from the subconscious mind.
All right, any more questions, comments? Does that brings us to the end of this Vedanta Book Club session? And
We'll be finishing it in the next one then.
yeah, I think we'll conclude with the next one. This particular talk by Mataji will be concluding it next time. So we have the yoga classes started again. We didn't have it last Thursday. We'll have we'll have the Vedanta Book Club again, the Friday night edition of it coming up. For the Friday night discussion this Friday. Next Sunday, Ajayaprana will be speaking on the importance of the spiritual guru. And following Sunday, we've got Sri Rama's birthday celebration, by the way. People informed about that. And of course, on the 18th of May, we've got the Australia's Race Discrimination Commission coming. It'll be an event from 2 to 4 p.m. And from now on, if you could let us know if you're coming, because we want to start getting an idea of the numbers. Could be that we have a pretty full house that day, and I'd like to get a bit of a feel for the attendance. So now we'll conclude with a guided meditation, which I'll conduct.